Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of Polyhedron presents Trinity Continuum, Anima. I want to be sedated.
Yay!
There, I got it.
Did it.
Got it. I did it.
Believe in you.
I'm so proud 3 episodes.
Yeah, it only took 3 episodes. But anyways, hello, welcome back. I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves, and then we're going to get right into the action. So, Ryan, lead us.
Hi, I'm Ryan Jofesberg. I'm the one of the co-hosts of Polyhedron podcast, and right now I'm playing a Birdman.
Scott.
Hi, I'm Scott. I'm playing Makhno, who is currently playing Lorge, who is a giant doggy kind of guy.
Dixie, introduce yourself.
Hi, Dixie Cochran, pronoun she, her. I am currently playing Poppy Zed, who is also playing a Cherubian beta fish person named Agia.
Mm-hmm. And I am Matthew Malice. I am one of the co-hosts and producers of Polyhedron. I'm playing Guy Bennitti, a smart lab coat guy, but he's currently playing a giant insect man explorer person thing. And finally we have Eddy.
Hi, I'm Eddy Webb. My pronouns are he, him. I am one of the in-house developers in Onyx Path. I am the developer of Trinity Continuum Anima, and I am the Storyguide, who's currently putting these characters through hell.
Yep, we're very confused.
I'm having a wonderful time.
Yeah. So, Eddy, explain where we left off.
So last we left off, our 4 characters, who are all agents of the Aeon Covenant, were asked to investigate the disappearance of a Terra Surge streamer by the name of Hell Castro. He was last seen walking through the Sand Sea outside of the Cumdary city of Broken Promise. So the characters, after a little bit of banter, decided to go into Terra Surge through their brain implants, had some interesting conversations, did a lot of shopping, were about to try to rent a boat, and then ran into a glitch to where they lost money but could not actually rent the boat. And they finally got a message from a rival guild known as the Shadows of Ending, who said that they had stolen not only their gold, but also their guild member. And that is where we left off, where we had very, very angry Lorge.
Oh yeah, they're just like the profanity filter is like having trouble keeping up. Like it is like, I am going to find you. I'm going to find you. I'm going to kick the shit out of her.
Which now, I'll say this actually brings a question: is it is assumed when you logged in that you have your PvP flag off. If you would like to turn it on, then you can start hunting guild members.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like it's time. It's on. We're coming for you.
Flag up, everybody.
Yeah.
All
Wait
right.
until we find. Oh, okay.
Are we doing this now, or are we going to go out through the thing?
Well, let's go do. Well,
can't do the thing, we don't have a
Lorge
vote.
is currently the leader of your pickup group, so if he starts to PvP that flag on, it goes on for all of you.
Okay. Well, I guess we're doing this, Lorge.
It's all right. We're going to show these guys his boss.
Fine.
Beat them
There
for lunch money
are-
and then
2 other merchants you can rent boats from.
okay.
let's go try that because that's our job. Not
Yeah.
just a bunch
No,
of
you're right. You're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're flag PvP, which means that we can get jumped by level 70 characters at any time. So good job. Good job.
All right, I'll turn it off.
You know there's a cooldown on that, right?
It'll take about 5 minutes before it shuts down.
Well, for the next 5 minutes, we can just huddle together and weep. Then I'm gonna go.
There's also nobody around except for these 3 merchants.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we will go to the other merchant and see if we can get an actual boat.
There are 2 other merchants. It turns out that there are Cumdary brothers, and they are not glitched. So pretty quickly, you give them some gold, and they rent you a modest-sized sand boat that you can go sail the Sand Sea.
Okay.
It's weird. Like one of them does all the talking, the other one kind of repeats the last word that the first one said. It's very strange, but anyhow,
Call that one
It's
unspoken
interesting.
threat.
right. So you get into the boat and you start to sail.
Mhm.
How would you like to do that? Do you have a rough idea of where the islands that was being walked through is at?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way we can figure that out? Actually,
Yeah.
based on his like the footage that we have. Is there any like I don't know the guide like something? Oh God, what is the word I am looking for?
Ordnance?
Landmark. Is there a landmark?
Landmarks, coordinates. Also, if need be, I have the speed reading edge. I could probably skim through a lot of his footage and get information about where he was pretty quickly.
So what I'm going to say is you've got a pretty good sense of landmarks. Landmarks are hard in this part, but you've been looking at the village for a while. And because you have the edge, I'm just going to give this to you. You can put pins into the map to get a rough idea of where it's at.
Right.
You're probably still going to need a lore check, whoever's piloting the boat, to actually get you to that island.
Okay. I've got pretty decent lore.
Yeah, I've only got like a 1 in that, so.
And to be clear, your characters can have this conversation.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
that's
we're
what we're
having this
doing.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any. I got a little lore from being a bird guy, but I don't really have much else. So
Yeah. I'll be like on the prow of the ship on the lookout for monsters or griefers.
looking real noble.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're Captain Morgan in this crap.
Yarr.
How does could Aegea help me, or how does helping work inside Terra Surge?
It would be similar to teamwork in Trinity. So Aegea would have to make a lore roll, and then her successes can be converted into enhancement for your roll.
Okay. You want to do that?
Sure.
Okay.
You care about what approach I use, Eddy?
How are you? Tell me how you're approaching this.
I figure she's just going to try to like glance at the footage that he had and just try to go through kind of her memories of when she's been out here before and other characters. And just kind of be like, and
Is it
like,
more?
streams she's watched.
Are you being reflective on the material? Are you just kind of brute forcing, removing non-useful information?
That's kind of what I was thinking. Is she's just kind of like, I mean, because like everybody who has glass also has photographic memory, so chances are that she has like some idea of this area of the game, and so she's just kind of like, come on, you can do, like, you got this, like, you can figure out where the hell this place is.
So honestly, force or resilience makes sense to me.
Okay, my bow keeps disappearing on the screen. I'm the sun bow.
The sun has devoured your bow.
Her bow.
Devouring
The
my
sun
head.
is the bow.
I can make my fascinator disappear. Wow.
Bird, not
Make a
bird.
pencil
Bird, not
disappear.
bird.
I got 2 successes.
Okay.
So I get 2 enhancement with.
Well, it's 2 for 1. That'll convert to 1 enhancement for you.
Okay.
But you already have +1 enhancement because you've got some pins. You've narrowed down the area.
Okay.
So we'll call that +2 enhancement to your roll.
All right, here we go, guys. Wish me luck.
Dice
rolled-
preserve us.
Yay, I rolled really well. Really well. With the enhancement, that is 6 successes.
Okay. So difficulty finding it would have been 3. And there was a complication of 2 of avoiding griefers, if you'd like to buy that off.
Yes.
Okay. And then you have 1 enhancement left. So we'll convert that into a clue when you get there.
Sure.
So you start to sail the sea, and initially, again, just not really see much around, but as you move through the sea, suddenly over the dunes and out of the glare of the sun, you start to see creatures moving around as you're kind of moving from the safe area to the mobs area, and at one point, Lorge kind of sees someone's like, as the PvP flag flips over, sees someone trying to ping your PvP status, and he knows this area enough that he can go, actually avoid going that way because I think they're griefers or they're trying to flag us. And so you can move away from that and around kind of almost a sandbar atoll. And one of the things as you're going is that when you're actually like in the boat and in the sand sea, you can start to see like the sand you're in versus the sand you can stand on, because like it's a slightly darker, ruddier color when it's quote unquote liquid versus the slightly browner solid. But like even a few dozen feet away, it becomes all kind of one color again. So it's something you can, when you're in it, you can see very clearly what's land and what's quote unquote water. But even a short distance away, it's almost impossible to tell the difference. But you manage to make your way through. It's a little slow, but you eventually make your way to kind of the island you're at, because you recognize the position of the pyramids and how they relate to each other. And also there's a couple of scrub and cacti in the distance, and you kind of, oh wait, that's a weird looking cactus. And so you manage to triangulate and find the right spot. And you do see actually there are footsteps. When you stop your boat, you see there's a pair of footsteps walking through the island.
Okay. During the trip, because I'm probably navigating the boat, I do bust out an actual sea shanty that's probably sung poorly by my character. He seems that just very old, knows an old sea shanty.
Okay.
Incredulous
weird.
bird face.
That's real weird, man.
What? I studied ancient naval lore.
Why is that weird? Shanties
I don't
are
know.
cool.
It's
Good to know
role
your
playing.
history.
It's role playing.
No,
It's
no,
fine.
that wasn't me role playing. That was me just singing sea shanty, because if I was sailing an actual ship, I would want to sing a sea shanty. Anyways, but there's footprints.
Maybe I'm too old to understand what role playing is anymore. Huh.
Yeah, in my day, it was a thing you did with dice.
No, that sounds screwed.
It's 2084.
You can still use dice. It's actually there's a whole retro server
Right,
of
but the
people.
point is, we all remember all.
You
They're
log
all
into
in
Glass
the game.
and you stand around a table and you roll
Yeah,
dice.
they're all in Terra Surge, but they're all rolling dice, playing other characters.
Meanwhile, my character's like going back to like in a bunker where like super people were blowing up cities. And like this was like the one thing we could do to take our minds off of it. We had to literally pull out pieces of paper and physical dice to do this.
There's like the one table that's in the corner playing champions. Everyone's like, dude, too soon.
Come on, man.
Oh, that's
Tacky.
good. That's so good,
All right.
everyone.
So you all get off the boat, and the island, again, it's kind of shifting sands, but now the shifting because of the winds, not because you're on this kind of weird liquid style sand. And the island itself that you're on is pretty wide. It's maybe about 50 or 60 feet wide, and it seems like it's continuing to go beyond your immediate sight, but there's a bit of a hill over it, and the footprints go up to the hill and then kind of go over, so you can't see what's going on. You do hear a growling sound, but because of the way the sand is shifting and the hissing of the sand moving, you can't quite tell where the growling sound's coming from.
All right. Well, why don't you folks who are a bit more smart about this sort of thing take a look around? I will be on guard. And if that growling thing wants to come and bring it, it can come and bring it.
Yeah, I'll stick by you, Lorge.
Just be wary.
I'm not much use in this
If
particular.
this other guild is aware of us and they did something to El Castro, then they may be wary. They may be laying something down for us as well. So definitely be very aware.
Well, I hope it drops some fat loot. Did I do that right?
Yes,
I got
yes, you did. Yes, correct.
Oh, that's like 100 years out of date. Come on, buddy.
Listen, I'm
Trying.
trying here, okay?
I will follow the footsteps. I will almost try to mirror them.
Okay. So make sure I understand correctly. Who's staying behind and who's following footsteps? Or is everyone going?
I think we're everyone going.
We should
We're
all
just-
go. Just some of
Oh
them
yeah, I
take point.
figured me and Lord were just going to kind of be paying attention to our surroundings and not so much the tracking portion.
Got it. Okay. Then so you start to make me through. Are you going to be walking stealthily?
No, because he's really just making sure he keeps precise, like literally follow in the footsteps of this guy.
All right. So you start walking through the sands. You kind of keep your footsteps. You feel sands kind of shifting and moving under you. And as the camera kind of pulls back, and we see like a top-down view of the four of you walking through the sands, and across the screen we see Chapter 3, Follow the Leader. And then we zoom back down as you're continuing to walk over the hill, and you see there's kind of the footsteps turn into a slide, and so they kind of just slid down the hill, probably while standing. So it's kind of like just steeper, but it's a grooves as opposed to individual steps. And then there's a bit of a muddled, like handprints and footprints near the bottom. So probably looks like he stumbled as you get to the bottom of the hill. And then the footsteps pick up and they continue to move, and then they just, in the middle of what looks like an empty field, stop.
And these definitely like Kumdari footprints, right? Is that what he was? Okay.
Well, that's that then.
Well, I'm now looking around to see if there's any anomalies in the Terror Surge itself.
So you had that extra success that I said you could convert into a clue. The two things you notice, the core clue is that the footsteps, the last two footsteps, the actual sand underneath it looks almost black and solid, like the glass, like it fused into glass maybe, or maybe it's metal underneath, which is unusual. The other thing which you buy with your extra success is that you've been playing the game enough to study glitches and how things change to try to, find ways to beat the system. You know that footsteps tend to fade over time, and on the scale of like half an hour or so. Because it's cheaper. It takes computer time to render footsteps, and if they rendered everyone's footsteps at all times, it would escalate exponentially from a technical standpoint. So over time, they find it rains or the sand blows it away or whatever, and those footsteps say the fact these footsteps are still here after over a day is unusual.
I'm going to attempt, since if he points out the black glass material under it, I'm going to attempt to use the Arcana to identify skill if possible, to see if it's like contextually part of like the game knows what this is.
Okay, sure.
Did it convert it to a game thing, or is this some weird artifact?
Yeah. So he'll kind of just pick
what approach are you going to use for this?
Force, finesse, or resilience. Well, I'm good at two of those. So.
Argue for one you're good at.
Yeah, he'll probably just very carefully pick up he'll take his bird fingers and like kind of scoop up a very small piece of it and very carefully examine it. I guess finesse or is.
That sounds good.
All right.
Finesse and Arcana. Difficulty is 2.
Oh, cool.
And there is a 2 complication for narrator bullshit.
Cool. This is weird. Oh my goodness. Is it going to happen? Am I going to do it? Okay, so it's 2 successes, 3 successes. So I have 4 successes total. So I actually can buy off the complication and pass. Okay. I have a 1 enhancement to identify.
Okay. Then you start to look at it, and at first you're thinking, especially from a magical perspective, fire, heat, in a desert. There's a strong elemental connection to fire, planes, and whatnot. So that's probably what happened here. But the fact that from a lore perspective, the character burst into flame or turned into a fire spirit and left. And that's not the video you saw. So your best guess is that the narrators are actually trying to turn this into a storyline. And so at first you're like, okay, maybe there's a magical explanation, but then you start to think metagame a little bit because you know how the game works. And it's like what's actually probably happening is the narrators put that under there to make it into a mystery that people will then solve and therefore distract them from what actually happened here.
Yeah, they're trying to fool us into not thinking this is weird.
That's their job. Their job is to make the world immersive.
Yeah. Well, it was a pretty good.
So the narrators are actively covering this up.
They're AIs. That's literally their job.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
It depends on your character's perspective. On the surface, the narrators are just several AIs that handle different parts of the game, and their job is to create content, implement content, and for everything from the small level of this player obviously likes women versus men, so I'll get an attractive woman versus male NPC to ask for their help, to the macro level of, wow, this player character faction is getting really big, so now we're going to start writing stories around this player character faction. So they constantly adjust and modify the world. It takes a very strong problem for a narrator to just rewrite a scenario. They will, like, if someone dies, they will make a new character to come on the scene to fill that character's role rather than resurrect that character. So if something happened here, it was not on the scale enough where the narrators had to wipe the footprints and pretend it never happens. Instead, it's okay, something weird happened here, so let's turn it into an in-game mystery rather than what appears to be increasingly not a character glitch.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't ascribe malice to it.
It would be too easy. It would be easier just to wipe away every piece of evidence than to incorporate it into the structure of Terror Search.
Now, the jackasses
something big did happen here, but I'm just saying that I don't think the narrator AIs are covering it up in a malicious manner. They're, doing their job as best they can.
So the two complication you bought off narrator bullshit, which means that if they're trying to make this into a thing, they're probably going to throw mobs at you, and they're probably going to be fire-based mobs or monsters. So you can either stick around until the narrator decides to bring those into play, or you can leave.
So I think we should probably... Okay. So I think we maybe have hit a dead end here. If we want to actually find out what's going on, maybe we need to talk to the company that runs this game and try and get what actually happened.
Or we have the person's name now, so we could just...
Yeah, too.
We need to talk to...
first.
We need to talk to Jaden, and we know that, and supposedly the Shadow of Endings has something to do with this, supposedly. So we have two angles that we can look at.
All right, maybe our time of Fantasyland's over. Let's go actually beat feet.
Okay.
You hear howling again.
Okay, let's get on out of here. We can just log out here, right?
Yeah, you can log out.
All right.
What happens if you log out is that your character still stays in place for about a minute or so. It's to avoid people logging out in the middle of like PvP raids. So if a monster is coming to attack, you might take a little bit of damage, but also unless you log right back in a day or so, your damage will heal and you'll be fine. So
Yeah.
unless you're worried about dying here, it's safe to log out.
Let's get on the boat and then we'll log off.
That's probably safer.
Sure. All
Next.
right.
All right. So
All right.
we will then jettison ourselves from Terra Surge.
Right, so you think logout commands, everything kind of fades to black. You see a thank you for playing in Terra Surge, and then you open your eyes again, and you are back into Cascade.
I do miss the feathers. They are very pretty.
Are very pretty.
I clench my jaw too much when I'm doing that.
Yeah, I gird too. Sometimes you just gotta get like a stick or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
All right. Let me review the logs real quick, and then we can start looking into the guild and see if we can contact this Jaden. Because Poppy, you may actually know, or you may know someone who knows who Jaden is.
Now that you have a real name.
Mm-hmm.
Now they said that was the name of Hellcastro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me recover the information you have so far.
Yeah, thank you.
So Hellcastro is the Anima who disappeared. Is played by a character. His first name is Jaden. He apparently has definitely left the Rangers of Honor. Presumably has joined the Shadows of Ending, which is the Griefers Guild, that has decided to start putting roadblocks in your way. You don't know Jaden's last name. You don't know if anything happened to Jaden beyond changing guilds, or if that's actually what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You also, Poppy had that weird approach from someone named Ruby Stedman from Immersion Entertainment about stream sponsorship. And you had a couple of other streamers who disappeared as potential leads you can investigate.
Also, we know that Jaden is non-binary, which is an identifier.
Yes. So you have some points of data that you can turn it into a research role if you would like.
It's also spelled a little bit oddly. It's Jaydon,
yes,
and not like Den or Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, at least if they have any presence on anything that's searchable, it'll probably pop up.
Give me a little bit. He actually goes to the fridge, grabs like a liquid like nutrient drink, starts slugging that down, and he gets right to computing.
I might call in to Colin.
Mm-hmm.
Connor. Sorry.
Connor. Yeah.
And see if now that we have a first name at least, and have a little bit more information, if Aeon has any like resources or lists of humans who exist in this town that might contain that name.
Basically, just give him a progress report.
Yeah, I'll just do a progress report. It'd be good. Be a good little agent.
All right, I will do, obviously, if it's research, that's enigmas, right?
So I'm looking up right now.
Okay.
Evidence research. Yeah, it would be enigmas.
Okay.
Or humanities, actually.
They're actually the same for me, so
Okay.
I'm good either way.
So let's do your search first.
Okay.
You have +1 enhancement because you actually have some hard information. Difficulty is going to be 3.
Okay. I'm trying to see if there's anything that I would have. I want to spend, since I'm out of Terror Surge now, I can do inspiration. Let's see what I can use with inspiration.
Okay.
Because we're talents and we're very
Well,
talented.
while you're looking at that,
Sure.
we'll jump to Ryan. You kind of call Connor.
Mhm.
And his face pops up and is like, yes.
Hey, just giving a quick situation report. We have a first name of Castro's actual first name, and I was wondering if the Covenant might have any information, like any sort of access to, resources that might be able to find them. It's a very weirdly spelled first name, so it's a big maybe, I know, and it's not much, but it is something.
We have their gender marker too, which, like, you know.
We have we do have a gender marker as non-binary.
I will look. Records are always difficult, particularly with second-class citizens, and also there are so many people coming in. But let me look. Hold on a moment.
Are we sure they're even a second-class citizen? That would be.
I don't know. I'm just saying is that if they are, it's going to be even harder.
If a first class has appeared, we'd probably know about it.
So his face kind of goes blank for a second. His eyes dart around as you look at the screen. At one point, you see his hand kind of come into frame and then come back out of frame. And then he goes, no, I'm not finding anything.
All right. Well, figured I'd shot in the dark. We've got College Boy working on it over here. Just figured I wanted to let you know what was going on.
Well, let me know if you find anything.
Will do. Thanks.
I'm also going to actually go with one of my path contacts.
Okay.
I have a street kid who's also a streamer, so he's probably second class.
Okay.
If that. His name's Little Sid. He's pretty great.
Yay.
I want to talk to him, and he's my 2-dot path contact. So see if he knows anything about this. This is Jaden, aka Hell Castro. Either one.
Okay. If you want to, you can roll as access content. You can roll path plus your inappropriate attribute. I'm assuming presence. This person's a fan.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're a fan and a friend more than anything else, but yeah. Sure.
Well, why don't if your humanities is the same, why don't you take it from the humanities and I'll take it from the enigmas standpoint, and we'll try and come at it from 2 different directions.
Sure. I'll take humanities is fine.
I got 4 successes.
4 successes? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You said Little Sid?
Little Sid. He's
Little
great.
Sid.
I love Little Sid.
So Little Sid's like, oh yeah, that's what's their name? Reed, Jaden Reed, disappeared recently. Rumor is they joined Shadows of Ending, but I don't know if that's true or not.
That would suck. I really liked their content before that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's part of a stupid.
It's such a hard shift. And from Explorer to Griefer.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's weird. So I don't buy it. I think there's something else going on. But yeah, it's Jaden Reed.
Totally. Thank you so much, Sid. I will let you know when the next party is happening.
You hype.
All right. And I hang up with them. However, hanging up works on this. I turn off my eyeballs and I kind of like shout over to the other 2 in the room. I'm like, Reed, Jaden Reed, got a name.
That helps a lot, actually.
Okay. So Scott, go to you. What are you doing?
So I am going to be coming at this problem from an enigma standpoint.
Okay.
I'm going to spend an inspiration to activate Acme of Unchallenged Reason. So for intellect-based rolls, I am acting at a +1 scale.
Ooh, you took that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I am rolling that beautiful bean footage.
So you roll that. You'll get +2 enhancement for scale and +1 enhancement from the information that Poppy gave you.
Cool. Okay, so I rolled 3 successes. So you said +1 enhancement for the information, and then +2 for scale, right?
Yep.
All right. So that would be total of 6 successes.
Wow. Okay. So you start thinking this through. Okay. They're a streamer, not a high profile streamer based on what you've been hearing, and focused on content that they can do alone. And just how hard it's been to get information, you start to put together probably second class. Then you're going, okay, if they glitched, it's not a long stretch to assume that maybe they jailbroke their class, because sometimes with jailbreaking class, you get a glitchy experience, which then leads you to they're probably trying to stay off the grid for some reason. But why would you stay off the grid and be a streamer? Ergo, something has changed recently. Something has caused them to go from, I want to be as popular as possible, to, I need to hide.
And maybe they're going with the Griefer Guild as a way of, because griefers don't want people to know who they are. They really don't want to be perceived doing what they're doing. Except
that's one angle. But
yeah.
With 6 successes, the more you think about it, that doesn't track either. Because griefers still, they want a different kind of attention.
That's true. Yeah.
They have usernames still. They want people to know they're trolls.
Right.
That's true.
And considering it was a glitchy experience, you're wondering if the Griefer Guild isn't the reason maybe why they're hiding.
Ah, okay. All right.
What if the Griefer
That's kind of what I
Guild
was thinking.
is just being a bunch of griefers and telling terrible lies?
Possible.
About
There's
having
that
something to do
too.
with this.
But
Well, I
something
mean,
spooked them.
It's possible, but we still haven't heard from Jaden in a couple days.
Now I'm going
Nobody
to roll more, I think, in humanities, which is more like actual research.
Yep.
Like actual research. I'm going to spend an inspiration for what they called extraordinary effort, which increases my scale for 1 roll, which is just what any talent can do.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll. Also, if you would let me, I'd like to also add my library, because I have the library edge.
Okay. So run it through me again. Sorry, I was in the middle of typing something.
No.
So what do those 2 things do?
Well, spend the inspiration for extraordinary effort, which increases my scale by 1 for 1 roll.
Okay, got that. Okay.
And then I have the library edge,
Which gives you enhancement for a specific kind of research.
Yeah.
So what kind of library do you have?
I didn't actually define it, but so if you just don't
want to define it now, it's fine. I don't care.
It probably wouldn't involve people, honestly.
I mean, given what you're doing, I could see either being a library of obscure Terra Surge information or a library of obscure Cascade information. And if you have 2 dots, you can split it into 2 different
probably
libraries.
Be more Cascade or Cybernetics, really.
Okay, that's fine.
But so it probably wouldn't involve what we're doing right now. So
it might, because for add it in, because it may be relevant. Let's put it that way.
All right. So I'm rolling. Okay. Are you kidding me?
How bad?
I actually didn't botch, but I completely failed because I got 0 successes.
Failure is
whole bunch
interesting.
Yeah. No 1s, but a ton of 7s.
Well, you got momentum. You're up to 5.
Yeah. Spend it.
Can I spend 2 of it?
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Please. Oh,
Still 0?
Yep. 3 and a 4. So my character's like, he's frantically going through everything. He's looking, he's like.
So you haven't botched. So
yes.
It's not like they're off the grid. No, it's more like you have so many possible factors, you can't sufficiently narrow them down.
Right.
You do have a reasonable starting point. And based on all the information you got together, if you assume that they are a second-class citizen, if you're assuming they have jailbroken class, they're going to be either in two main parts of the city. You're either looking at, hey, let me close a bunch of files here as I open up other files.
The GM's way.
Right, yeah. This is the downside of an in-progress game is like, I don't have an easy book I can flip through.
Mhm.
So your options are Burnaby, which is where the Aeon Society is based. The Burnaby Endowment is a lot of transitional second-class people. So this is where people, they get through the knuckles, they settle down in the city, they say, I'm going to get a cheap place in Burnaby next to my office, and then some of them just never leave.
Yep.
The other option is Richmond, which is more of the scrappier, kind of college part of town, for lack of a better term. The University of Cascades there. It's also where Expanse Interactive, that the creators of Terra Surge, also have their offices there. So it's probably one of those two parts of town.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a photograph or anything of Jaden, so I don't have any person we can actually physically locate. I'm really sorry. And he actually looks down and he's like, just, there's too many variables. There's too many people with that name. And
Well, it's not like we have access to public, like everyone's records or anything. You're working, this is a pretty tough needle to find in the safe stack.
Also, like, it sounds like Jaden maybe wasn't a big show my real face kind of person.
that's probably true as well.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of friends like that, especially in this era where everybody's recording everything all the time.
Yeah.
Some people just, they don't want to be perceived.
That's fine. But Makhno, you may actually, I think the people that you run with and the people you may actually have a better boots on the ground perspective on finding if somebody wanted to disappear, where would
I've
they
been
disappear
thinking
to?
about it. I have a friend from the old days who helps people who have nowhere to go. So I think I might get in touch with them. I'll get in contact with my Origin Path contact from my Revolutionary Commune, which is they go by Red, and they are very much like kind of direct action, helping people who are like who want to not be seen or are kind of on the run from forces. So they might know something along those lines.
Okay, so go ahead and make a contact roll, so it's 1 dot for your path as well as an appropriate attribute, and we'll see if Red has been involved in this.
I'll go with presence just because he's pretty sociable with these sort of people.
That's perfectly fine.
How much momentum do we got?
4, because I failed that roll. I got
All right.
You spent 2, so 3 and 3.
Yeah, you spent 2. All right, I'd like to take 1.
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
Down 2.
Okay. Oh, Heather. That's 4 and 2 10s.
I'll take it.
That's for all the big dice today.
Yeah. Okay, so a total of 5 successes.
Wow. Okay. So you call up Red's and Red's voice only, which you're used to.
Yeah.
And what pronouns does Red use?
Let's go they them. They're also non-binary.
Okay. So they're like, yeah, man, what's up?
Hey, Red. I think I might have someone. I'm looking for someone who you might know.
I know lots of people.
I'm well aware, but this person, they are. We get the sensation that they might be trying to get off the grid. Something might have happened to them, and they go by Jaden, and I'll spell out the name. They are something bad might have happened to them at Terra Surge, and we think some people might be after them.
Well, one of the favors I owe you, that's gone. Okay.
Okay.
But I helped Jaden. And you're right, that kid's messed up. You might want to actually go check it on. So the kid comes up to me. It's like, I need to disappear. People are after me. I'm like, that's what I do. Forks over a whole bunch of dollars. Like, great, no problem. I can do it. The whole time they're acting weird. Like, more paranoid than you. And I say that with all due respect.
Holy shit.
Like, they wanted to see my face. They wanted credentials. And I'm like, this is not the business you get credentials from.
Yeah, I know.
But I did the job. I set them up in Richmond's, no problem. I got them an apartment, whole 9 yards. I can't get them out of Cascade because it's not going to happen without a lot more money. But I got them on the run until don't log in Terra Surge. And they're like, well, I have to log in. So I got them a clean alt. So they're completely, no problem there, but something's wrong with that kid. If that kid's wrapped up in something, I don't know if you want to be wrapped up in it either.
Well, I'm kind of in the business of getting wrapped up in bad shit nowadays.
Well, good on you, man.
All right. Thank you, man. This is, you're doing a good job, and I owe you one.
Good. That sounds right about right.
All right. You got the address
And
information
shoot you
for
the
me?
address. Yeah.
Cool. All right. I got an address.
Look at you.
Thank you.
Richmond. They are not in a good spot, apparently. Something's got to them and spooked them real bad.
So we'll have to go in nice and soft.
Yeah.
I want to crack this egg.
No, can't have them running off because they probably don't know good guy from bad guy at this point.
Yeah.
Well,
What was that phrase? We're with Aeon. We're here to help.
yeah.
I don't know if they would believe that at this point, but
Well,
There
Give it
is
a try.
cachet.
it's fair. We can give it a shot. All right, let's head over there.
You know Richmond better than any of us, so
Yeah. Maybe take off some of your fancier clothes, Poppy.
then I'd be naked.
Oh. You got a spare lab coat, dude? I'm just saying,
not
it's
wearing
not
a
it's
lab
not a
coat.
place to be fancy.
I'm not fancy. I look like a cool street dog.
You
This
look
is the style.
Poppy looks like someone with a lot of money bought very specific clothes to look like they didn't spend a lot of money.
Yep.
Let's just hope that your usual ne'er-do-well isn't perceptive enough to notice that.
Are we driving over?
Yeah, I mean, I can
We
drive
have to.
if I don't have a car.
Okay, I'll zip up my jacket and I'll put on my helmet since I'm going to be taking my bike anyway. So
Okay. Hold on,
Sounds good.
I need to make a few adjustments and then I'll be ready to go. He goes and gets like slightly different clothes on, and he adjusts his braces, his leg braces, and then he pulls out a few things. And he's like, "Okay, now I'm ready to go."
did any of you have a car? Did anybody take car as a vehicle?
No,
Probably one of you has a car.
I
well,
mean-
I thought most things were autonomous nowadays.
I mean, you could just, rent a car.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no wealth, like no,
Yeah.
like
this
I mean-
could definitely be
any
on
of that,
the
so-
Aeon.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you can use your budget to basically effectively call an Uber, but it would just be an unmanned Uber, and then you
Right.
drive that car
Yeah.
until you're done driving the car, and then it goes back to.
Oh, that's right. That would be a definite operational expense that they would.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Poppy's got a hover cycle and it's already parked outside, so she's going to
Well,
ride it over, but
you
she's going
enjoy
to
your-
have her helmet
Enjoy
on.
That. That seems like it'd be fun.
Oh, he actually go outside and he's like, "Oh, is that the latest Xynthia 783 model? That's interesting. I heard that's got some interesting technology that they've uncovered recently."
It's pretty fun. I like it.
I would love to ramp something in that.
Okay. You can try it out sometime.
Yes.
So all of you get into your respective vehicles. The camera pulls back out, and we see like a small kind of pulsing line going from where you are in Barnaby over into Richmond. Then we zoom back in as you start pulling in, and Richmond is much more vibrant than Barnaby. As I mentioned, when you were in Barnaby, streets are kind of empty, weirdly quiet. Barnaby Richmond's the opposite. There are lots of people in the streets. You can hear music from windows, and in almost an eerie parallel to where you just were in Terra Surge, there are lots of merchants around. You see people selling stuff on the street. There are people hawking things, people broadcasting AR advertisements for their latest band or for their album or for their merch or their shirts, their stream, whatever. So you start to become overwhelmed with advertising, but not the sanitized advertising you get in more corporate parts of the city, but rather this is all much more kind of lo-fi, the digital equivalent
type stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody's
These are all indie stuff. And you pull up in front of the Hernandez apartment complex, and the address is like 14G. And the apartment complex is made to look like an old brownstone. The building is probably maybe 3 years old, but it's designed to look like it is probably 100 years old. It's in very good condition, but it has that kind of interesting crumbling look. So it's almost reverse gentrification. In fact, it's made to look older and more run down than it actually is. But the interior is clean. There is an elevator that can take you up. There are walk-up stairs, and you could just walk through the front door because the security in this place is much more individual, complex than the building as a whole. But also there are definitely cameras around. And
I was just going to see if I could get into the security of the place.
Okay.
Get an idea of what the security is like because I'm not trying to ping their glass because I don't want to spook them.
So what you can do is, as you walk in, like I said, there are cameras and also a low-level network. So it's going to, anyone who walks in is going to just track, hey, there's a glass user that's come in, kind of thing. And this glass ID, is it a resident? Yes or no, kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. As that network pings you, you can try to go back through it because you have jailbroken glass, and try to actually infiltrate the network backwards.
Yep.
That is going to be very difficult. It's the key difficulty 4.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'm going to go to a street vendor and get like a big old stack of kebabs.
Yes, street meat.
Just like kid might be hungry.
Yeah, that's easy enough to do, and you just charge it to the Aeon account. You go in, the street vendor kind of takes up the kebab, and then literally it's like it just kind of he has a small wand that he kind of just points at you, and it accesses your glass. It pulls up the account information. You broadcast the right account information. It goes into the device and just deducts it from it.
Yeah, I'll eat a kebab.
It's pretty good, actually. It has some real flavor, unlike some of the food in town.
I'm stealing one momentum. Is that cool?
Yeah, down to 1.
Use them all up.
All our momentum.
Well, at the end of the session, you're
I know.
So.
Well, I at least got a success.
Your dice hate you today.
Ooh, man. And I'm really good at this stuff. Like, guys.
Right.
Target number 8 is a harsh mistress.
It is.
I got spoiled on D5.
It's one of the few mechanics I've ever seen that just slaps you in the face repeatedly.
So what I'm going to suggest is you can't buy off the difficulty. So I would suggest that you fail, but you can buy off the complication of alarm.
Yes, yeah. He basically just fails. He it's all a wash, as it were.
Right. You start to penetrate the system. You realize that it's actually a really old code, and you're like, oh man, I don't remember how this code works. And then almost like from a mile away virtually, you see like, oh, those alarms, routine going, I can just shut that down. It's so old, it's like, I could just shut that down, no problem. So that's it shut down. Right. But it's like, I would have to go back 5 versions on my glass just to even remember how to get into this thing.
Right. All I can say is I don't know what other things, but whatever they have is very old here. So don't expect anything sophisticated.
Again, this is very old by Cascade standards. So so a couple of years ago.
And being a paranoid person, hey, is anyone watching this building?
Like mundanely.
You can go ahead and make a. Let's see.
I want to see Eddy answer this question because
cunning.
Larceny and cunning.
Larceny and cunning.
Larceny and cunning. Okay, because awareness in other games, I'm like, what would it be? I'm confused.
Larceny is all encompassing. that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think awareness is like based on what kind of thing you're trying to be aware of.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if you're out in the woods, it'd be survival, probably.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you're trying to be aware of people using technology to observe you, it would be a technology roll.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. No,
I
that's good.
botched.
That's a good.
You
good
botched?
interpretation.
Oh, no.
I like
I
it.
super duper botched. Yeah.
So
No idea.
as Guy is working through the system, and he's like, I try to get in, but I shut down the alarm, and immediately you're like, no, that's bullshit. The alarm's fake. They're aware now, and they're someone is scrambling a team to come after you.
Do I express that out loud, or is that
That's up to you. That's up to you. But you're now immediately
tilted.
convinced the alarm's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't buy it. We should be careful.
All right. Well, let's just go up because if this is already busted, we need to. We only have time.
Let's be quick then.
Are you taking the elevator, which is perfectly safe and not at all a death trap, or the stairs, which take a very long time?
Said it was
What floor?
14G, right?
14G, yes.
So
14G.
14.
Okay, I'm not running up 28 flights of stairs. But let's go with Death Trap.
Okay. Death trap elevator. Yes.
You go into the elevator, and it closes, and we get a almost exactly the same stage shot as you got from the first chapter, with the four of you kind of awkwardly over, but now you're in different clothes, and rather than being distracted and bored or in your own worlds, now you're all tense and nervous and worried about the situation. So same silence moments, and the same, it's camera shot exactly the same way, but the expressions in your faces are different as things have evolved over the past few chapters. But then the 14th floor, the doors part open, and you pretty quickly find 14G.
Okay, so before anybody goes in or makes a sound outside of it, let me scan.
Do it.
It's a thing my eyes can do.
Okay, so what are you scanning?
I'm scanning for infrared. So I'm scanning inside the apartment to see if there are any heat signatures, and if so, how many of them.
Okay.
It's the reason I took bionic eyes too.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's a good call. Let's say let's go with technology and either intellect or cunning.
I didn't know I had to roll for this. I thought I just could do it.
You can, but this is to parse the information you're getting.
Oh, okay. I do get +2 enhancement apparently to seeing anything that would be spotted with the heat signature.
Certainly applies.
Okay, so technology and cunning, you said?
Yep.
Got it.
Okay. That's what that. lets me
One
do.
success plus my 2 enhancement. So
Okay. You do see 3 heat signatures. One you're pretty sure is a object of some kind, maybe a stove or a fireplace or something like that. It's a square, so it's like it's not a person. The other two do like a person, but after you watch it for a second, you realize that one of the heat signatures, the person is exactly perfectly still. So you think like someone's actually built in a fake heat signature to make it look like there are more people in this apartment than there actually are.
or they are very deeply immersed in their glass game.
Or that, yeah. But more likely, just by how it's so perfectly and uncannily still, it's probably someone who's so paranoid to think, hey, there's a chance someone might look into my apartment with infrared eyes, so I should make it look like there are more people here than there. It's
right.
Given how weirdly paranoid you've been told this person is, that's a plausible option.
Yeah. So I will let them know what I saw and also say about the square thing. Like there's either an oven or like maybe a server, like an old school, like big server in there, like just something that's hot and
Interesting.
square.
Can't run glass on a personal server, can you?
Yeah.
I mean, not glass, Terra Surge.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
It would take like a small building to run a Terra Surge server.
Damn.
Old man.
I mean,
All right.
it is run on the level of like petabytes.
Right.
All right.
So who wants to?
I'll knock. I have experience with people on the run. So I'll walk up to the door with box full of styrofoam container full of kebabs. I'll lean a little bit to the side and just three firm knocks on the door.
Okay. After you knock, Poppy, you notice that the heat signature that's moving, it kind of jerks, and then an arm moves like it's hugging itself, and then one arm gets straight forward out.
That's probably a gun. That person has a gun.
Then you hear, who is it?
I would step to the side before you do too
Yeah,
much.
I had
He already
already.
has. Yeah,
I had already.
he's already on it.
Okay, got it. Just saying.
Who is it?
Name's Makhno.
I don't know you.
I don't know you, but this is gonna sound real cliche, but we're here to help.
Okay.
Also,
Come
I have
with if you
kebabs.
want to live.
And we'll call it there.
all right.
Nice.
Indie on kebabs. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone, we'll be back for episode 4 later. Be good, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.